Welcome to Climbing Together, the small business experience. I'm Beth Houtrow, founder of Climb the Small Business Book Club, and every episode I talk to a small business owner about a mistake that they've made and what they learned from the experience. Mistakes are inevitable, perfection's impossible, so let's embrace the mistake. And today we're so excited to welcome Michelle Barone to the podcast. Michelle, tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Well, Beth, thank you for having me on. It's such a pleasure, so thank you. Michelle Barone, I started Moksha Grace Coaching. Moksha means liberation and freedom, and grace came to me both actually came to me in a meditation, and it just is having the grace to set yourself free and also doing it in grace. So very important for me, just very much wanting to be in service to other people to help them find liberation in their life from their emotions, from what's holding them back, just being on that journey of setting themselves free.
Very cool. And are you mostly working with business owners or kind of just anybody, as anyone is looking for that journey?
So many people ask me that, like, what is your perfect client? My perfect client is somebody who's ready for change, male, female, or otherwise, a being, right? An energetic being, having a human experience that wants to have a better human experience. That person that wants to dive into the luggage that they're carrying around and let's make life lighter. Let's go into it knowing the lessons that we're learning and really embracing them, and understanding that it's okay that we have voices in our head, that's not a bad thing. And sometimes we can listen to them and sometimes we need to tell them, I got this, back off. So just being able to have that power and self-awareness, I think, is the most important part.
Awesome. Okay, I love that. All right, so we are here to talk about mistakes. So tell me about a mistake that you've made as you've been working on your business.
So, it's so funny because when I first heard you talk about mistakes, I'm like, there are no mistakes, just like there's no coincidences, right? Because every mistake brings you to a learning opportunity. And so, okay, for the show, we'll call it a mistake. So what did I do? I think my biggest thing that I've learned is that when I got started, I really had this a bit of an antiquated thinking process. I thought that to start a business, what are the things that you have to have? You have to have a phone, you have to have voicemail, you have to have business cards. And so there were all these things that I was focused on because they were things that I knew and it was a comfort zone. And it's about branching out. It's about embracing knowing that you don't know what you don't know, and then asking for help, going to those people that might be younger, might have already done it, right? So there's all these people that are out there that you can embrace and that you can ask for help and guidance. But it's always, you have to have an open mind or you're not going to hear it. And if you're going into it thinking, I already know all this, I'm just going to listen, but I don't know if I'm going to take your advice, you're really cutting yourself off because there's so much that's changing every single day, every day. And if I had thought about it and really thought about the process and what I wanted to create versus the physical, tangible things, I got a cell phone I paid for a whole year, and I can tell you never got one text, not one phone call. But I do all my work on Zoom. So why do I need a phone, right? And then on top of that, what else do we do? Because we always have done it that way. We get business cards. Who passes out business cards anymore? Some of us do, but that's not really one of the most important things. So I was focusing on what was comfortable and what I knew. But really, there's all this new technology that you take your phone with you everywhere you go. And now you can touch someone else's phone and your contact information is there.
Right.
You don't really need business cards. Just set it up the right way. So I think that was the biggest thing, is going into it going, oh, I got this. Of course, you need this, and this, like a checklist, instead of taking a moment and going, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then bringing it all together.
Yeah. Well, and I think for a business like yours that is so keyed into people who are willing to see the world differently, right? And
right? That maybe if you were in your 70s or 80s, you might be like, what is all this hooey, right? You're working with a generation who's prepared for newness. And so, yeah, like they're like, what? I mean, when I get a business card, I'm like, oh, well, this is going in the garbage. Like, what do I want? Like, what am I going to do with this? I don't need 800 business cards. And I feel bad about that. But sometimes I give them back. I'm like,
and they're so pretty.
Yeah, I was like, here, let me take a picture or something like that. But yeah, I really don't need this piece of paper. And like a whole business phone, like you said, yeah, completely unnecessary. And if you do need a phone number, a Google number is free. You can just you can set it up to call in, during your workday and turn off at other times. And yeah, so there's all these options. I love you said talk to younger people. I think that we know that as kind of experienced professionals as we go out to start our entrepreneurship journey, that's a really big benefit, right? It is a really great thing to have all of this professional experience. But we also need to have that, like you said, that willingness to say, but I also maybe need to figure out what's happening currently and now and what the world looks like than when I started my professional journey, because we can sometimes get stuck in those realities of like 20, 15 years ago, whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is things have even changed in the last 5 years. I mean, you don't even have to go back that far. You have to look at what's out there now. I mean, for goodness sakes, I remember I had a business so many years ago. My kids were little. I was on MySpace. We were just laughing about that this morning, like MySpace. So, things have changed and networking has changed and reaching out to people has changed. And who better to teach us about that than the younger generation? And I think that there's some people that are in my generation. I'll age myself. I just turned 55. Very happy. I'm 50 fun. But there's a lot of people in my generation that's like, oh, those the younger generation, they just don't know. Actually, they do. And they're very efficient and they're very effective. And my COO is somebody that is under 30 because she knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's, the world is moving towards efficiency. And if we want that efficiency, then we got to go find the people, who know how to make that happen.
Exactly.
Very cool. I love it. Okay. Well, hey, so this podcast is brought to us by Climb the Small Business Book Club. And our two tenets are continual learning and community building. So let's start with continual learning. I know you have a business book that has meant a lot to you in your path. So tell me about that and what that book has meant.
So, I am on Insight Timer. I went on a meditation journey years ago, got on Insight Timer, and I know they're not paying me to say this, but I love them. And through Insight Timer, I found this person who I loved his meditations, Steve Anel Noble, and wonderful. And he wrote a book called Spiritual Entrepreneur. Now, it's not just about entrepreneurs that are in the spiritual realm, that they're offering a spiritual something. It's also for those of us that are on a spiritual journey and not understanding how to bring it all together with businesses. For instance, I was with a company that was very, very hardcore. We have to set our goals. We have to set a yearly goal, and then we have to break it down to the monthly, to the weekly, to the hourly. Well, when you're in the spiritual realm and law of attraction and universal laws, that doesn't always match and it feels wrong. And then according to law of attraction, you're not going to get it because it doesn't feel right. So this book really spoke to me because he talks about how to bring it together, how to do it in a more spiritual way. You can still have goals, but you can have to be open to allow them to happen when they're meant to happen. And what I love about his book also is that at the end of every chapter, and I absolutely suggest to get it on Kindle, because at the end of every chapter, there's links to either his meditations or additional talks. And so when it's on Kindle or whatever the app you use, you can just click it and go right to it. And I never moved past a chapter until I finished my list of links. And I got so much out of that book. It was just amazing.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's wonderful. I will check it out. Put it on my list. Okay. So books, those are obviously a big thing for our book club, but community, right? That's really big. So talk to me about how you've built a community of entrepreneurs around you and what that's meant to you.
Well, now that I think about it, so he didn't like Facebook, right? Steve Noble was like, Facebook, not very spiritual. And he actually made a whole platform that is for entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs. So there's Soul Matrix, thus our Soul Matrix is what it's called. And so that's a great place. For me, the way I started though, is I knew that I was going to need a board of directors, right? And I couldn't pay them because I wasn't making money. So who do you get? And you get your trusted advisors. Who are those people that surround you that have your best, your best interest at heart, but yet they're not always going to agree with you. So you want the different perspectives. You want them from different walks of life. So that way you can ask them questions and they're going to be truthful with you. You can send them ideas and go, how does this sit with you? Now, also, you should never be at the top of your board of directors, right? You should kind of be in the middle. You don't want to be at the bottom. You don't want to be at the top. And I just think that that's so important. And so, yeah, sometimes you have to look outside of family and friends. But you definitely want to make sure that you have a board of directors that you can go to, and then you can do that for them as well. So I think that building that community and like we were talking about, we found a new community, Lineable. Didn't know that it even existed. I was doing it in the antiquated thinking of Facebook and LinkedIn, and that was all there was, and Instagram. But now there's this other thing that it's kind of like speed dating, but it's speed connecting. And I've been having so much fun. And I think that is another key. You got to bring the fun into being an entrepreneur because it can be lonely.
Totally. It can be so lonely. And so Alignable, I've just kind of discovered it too. It's, if you're looking for other small business owners, there's no better place to go. And we're not getting paid for this by Alignable. It is a great place to meet other people in your area, other people in your industry. Heck, there's an introvert group. I'm a part of that because, right, people who are introverts, there's all kinds of groups out there. So I just keep telling people, there are places for you, right? You might have to go look for them. Like you said, like the spiritual entrepreneur group, right? There are things out there that are designed for you that will help you connect with the right people. It might take a little work to find them, but it's worth it because once you have that community, you're really going to flourish. And I love the board of directors. Do you have like a formal schedule with them, or is it just kind of like, that you can lean on them? You've already talked to them and that you can ask some questions when you need it.
That's a great idea. I think I should have something that's a little bit more formal. But as it's been when needed. And, if I come up with a new idea or a new workshop, a new masterclass, a new program, how can I do this differently? How does this ad look or, this promo? And so I'm a little quirky. I can come up with something and then want to launch it the next day. So it's good to have, board of directors that have different time frames too, because they can look at things when others can't. So, you just have to kind of set it up and again, have fun with it and just be there for them like they're there for you. And definitely it shouldn't all be like, I'm coaching, but I don't want all coaches. I want people from all different areas. And honestly, I want some that would be my perfect client too,
right? Because
that's who I'm speaking to. And it's just so important to have that.
I love it. Well, Michelle, that's our podcast today. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
This podcast is brought to you by Climb the Small Business Book Club, where entrepreneurs go to learn, discuss, apply, and grow. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to subscribe at Apple, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, or follow us on Instagram at Climb Book Club. And always remember, mistakes are inevitable, perfection's impossible. So let's embrace the mistake.